This is Vigilant Liberty Radio News from Independent Journal Review for January 23rd. Saudi Arabia's King Salman Abdullah passed away Friday at the age of 90. Abdullah ruled the nation since 2006, but had essentially ruled since his predecessor, King Fahd, had a stroke. King Abdullah's half-brother Merquin has been named Crown Prince and heir. The new king is 79 years old and was formerly Defense Minister and Governor of Riyadh. A British judge has denied a request that suspected child rapist Tobias Bowen be extradited to the United States. In 2010, Bowen was arrested and charged with 2 counts of child rape and could face a lengthy prison term if returned to the U.S. After being released on bail, Bowen fled to Africa and was eventually recaptured when he traveled from Holland to Britain in April of last year. His case has been making its way through the UK legal system since that time. The U.S. has an extradition treaty with the United Kingdom, and the U.S. has honored all of the UK's extradition requests. The UK, however, has denied 10 U.S. requests for extradition. UK magistrates ruled Bowen's right to liberty and security under the European Conventions of Human Rights would be threatened if he was extradited, and District Judge Margaret Rose said Bowen's right to liberty and security would be at risk if he returned to New York and faced an indefinite prison sentence. Bowen was remanded in custody until the U.S. authorities were contacted, but Judge Rose said he could be bailed out with a surety of £10,000. New York Democrat Sheldon Silver, Speaker of the State Assembly, has been accused of 5 counts of corruption by federal prosecutors, in the form of accepting kickbacks and bribes disguised as legitimate income. Silver has been Speaker of the Assembly since 1994 and is described as being one of the 3 men in a room with Governor Andrew Cuomo and Senate Majority Leader Dean Skelos, who negotiate what happens in the state of New York. Charges against Silver were read at a press conference Thursday, and there have been calls for him to resign. However, Silver denies any wrongdoing, and Assembly Democrats, including Majority Leader Joe Morelli, are standing by him. And 2 days before the premiere of American Sniper, star Bradley Cooper made a special appearance at the Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio, Texas, for a preview of the film. Some 260 service members and staff, as well as Chris Kyle's father Wayne, watched the screening in the hospital's auditorium. While the staff was viewing the movie, Cooper was in the Institute of Surgical Research and Burn Center Rehabilitation Gym and was handing out signed movie posters and T-shirts to wounded warriors and hospital staffers. This has been Amy Curtis with your Vigilant Liberty Radio News from Independent Journal Review for January 23rd.
Welcome back to the show, folks. This is Michael Hausum, and you are listening to The Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum. So, Miller, measles.
What?
Measles. Did you see this? That measles outbreak at Disneyland?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Onion's got a real serious story on it, doesn't it?
Yes, they do. Very serious. And I totally love this. I'm going to put it up. Here, Martin wrote a piece. Basically, let me just read this, the intro paragraph and the final paragraph. As a mother, I put parenting decisions above all else. Nobody knows my son better than me. The choices I make about how to care for him are no one's business but my own. So when other people tell me how they think I should be raising my child, I simply cannot tolerate it. Regardless of what anyone else thinks, I fully stand behind my choices as a mom, including my choice not to vaccinate my son, because it is my fundamental right as a parent to decide which eradicated diseases come roaring back. The decision to cause a full-blown, multi-state pandemic of a virus that was effectively eliminated from the national population generations ago is my choice alone. And regardless of your personal convictions, that right should never be taken away from a child's parent, never. All the way to the end. Look, I've done research on these issues. I've read the statistics and I've carefully considered the costs and benefits. And there's simply no question in my mind that inciting a nationwide health emergency by unleashing a disease that can kill 20% or more of its victims is the right one for my child. Please, please, people need to respect that and move on.
See, and by the way, if you are listening and you have not been to The Onion, you need to go there. It's theonion.com. Obviously, among the best satirical sites on the internet. But here's just a couple of headlines. I'm on the home page. Okay, Chinese officials vow to fix nation's crumbling re-education system.
Right, they're crumbling re-education system.
Right. And then there's a picture that's hilarious. This one's funny too. Medical breakthrough provides elderly woman with 2 extra years of inconveniencing her family.
Oh my God. Here's another paragraph from this thing about the Onion thing and the vaccination. It's simple. You don't tell me how to raise my kids to avoid reviving a horrific illness that hasn't been seen on our shores since our grandparents were children. And I won't tell you how to raise yours.
It's always smart stuff.
It is smart stuff. There's part of me that thinks, you know what, I want to be a writer for The Onion, man.
See, no, I've thought that too. And then just some of their headlines. I mean, I've had issues with being able to continue breathing from time to time when I've read some of these things. There was one a year or so ago, and it was I don't remember the headline, but woman, it was like a housekeeper. Housekeeper admits 42 years she worked for Keith Richards. Shoot, I can't do the headline, but she was afraid every day she was going to come in and find him dead. And the whole story, I couldn't get through it. You guys got to go here. But anyway, that's funny.
Just the doctor just uses the same ultrasound picture for every baby. I mean, that's brilliant because they all look, relatively the same in utero, especially if it's not a 4D ultrasound. It's just your basic black and white
save
ultrasound.
Yourself a lot of money, too.
You save yourself an incredible. And what is healthcare nowadays, if not something else to save money over, right?
Here's one. Yeah, here's one picture of an attractive young lady with a guy. Woman's parents accepting of mixed attractiveness relationship.
Yeah, it's one of these sites. It's not political at all. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
you can see generally with some of the stories that they write and don't write, you can see a little bit of a left bent, but they're still funny as hell.
Right. And it might just be because, sometimes us conservatives have a hard time getting around being funny about stuff. I don't know.
You're right. They had one up, and then we move on, but they had one up last week or first of this week. It was about Tom Brady, and it was before the whole ball thing came up. But it was Tom Brady says Joe Montana sucked and he's better than everyone else. So what's funny about him, they do these quotes. You go all the way through and, I'm better than everybody. Montana sucked. And then the more I think of it, not only did Montana suck, but then it went through every other Hall of Fame quarterback in the history of the league. Just picking, again, written to pick on, what some perceived as his a little bit of arrogance. So anyway, guys, you got to go to the
Did you see the one that Biden arrived early set up State of the Union fog machine?
Yeah. And it shows a picture somehow. I don't have it.
Well, obviously the head is photoshopped. In fact, I'm going to link that on our blog because it just killed me. Biden. Oh, it's just absolutely perfect.
And a lot of times there'll be area man, doing something or report, as if it's you got to hurry up and read them. What if we could live in a world without war but way more famine?
Let's. Here, I just have to read this from the Biden one. Speaking to reporters as he ran a tattered extension cord along the House of Representatives rostrum this afternoon, Vice President Joe Biden confirmed he had arrived early in order to set up a fog machine for tonight's State of the Union address. This baby kicks out the fog like you wouldn't believe, but you got to give her plenty of time to warm up if you want the whole room to fill up real thick, said Biden, while carefully mixing water and glycerin according to his own homemade recipe, which he'd explained he'd been using since his brief stint as a roadie on White Lions Pride Tour in '87. I wanted to do this thing with the whole laser rig and shit, but that would have sent me back mucho dinero. But don't you worry, Uncle Joe knows a few tricks with strobes that'll really get the crowd going.
Maybe this should be a little Friday thing we could do for 15 minutes.
That we just got.
We just go through the onion. Yeah.
Right. At press time, Biden was reportedly double-checking the timers on a set of flashpots in order to avoid another congressional aide losing their fingers in a pyrotechnic mishap. They're just sitting around blowing weed and, I know what we can put up.
And laughing their asses off with other ideas other people come up with. So yeah, maybe again on Fridays if we see some good stuff on there, maybe we got to hit a few of them, because it's just, dude, I followed it for a long time. It's just hilarious.
Carlos Santana surprises wife with coupon for free 45-minute guitar solo. Oh, that is just brilliant.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, maybe we need to, Mike, maybe we need to talk about something that is equally as laugh-worthy, but not from the Onion. Something that Justin put up this morning about Elizabeth Warren. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Yeah, so, wait a second here. You know what, Mike? We've got a caller on the line.
We do.
We do.
By the way, which contact thread here are you and Jessica communicating?
The one with the red.
No, I got it. I got it. I just hadn't scrolled. I see.
Yeah.
Phyllis!
So, folks, we got Phyllis
Hello.
on the line.
What's going on, Phyllis?
Well, I finally got back from Paris, Texas. As I mentioned, I had a bad waxing reaction, and we'll just leave it at that. But I couldn't talk last week. I was just too devastated. But I'm very excited about the concert on June 18th. Have you heard about this?
Yes, in fact, we'll let you share with the listeners who were not listening the other day. But Howsam and I trying to decide which ones we want to attend. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I think the best one would be to go to Antarctica, because it's June 18th, so it should be summer. So it's probably as warm as it's going to be then. And I think it just would be exciting to see a concert in front of penguins.
Hey, can I just wait? Hold on a second. I do need to jump in.
Yeah.
Please forgive me for this, Mike, but our listeners, they're a very careful bunch, and strictly speaking, June 18 is actually not summer; it's still spring, technically.
That is true, but it's close enough to summer, and I figure as far as Antarctica is concerned, it's probably as warm as it's going to get.
All right, so let me throw another. No, I have to correct you now. Listen, since we have discriminate listeners, is it not correct that in the southern hemisphere, winter is in our summer?
Oh,
well, yes, that's correct, Mike. But my point is that on the date June 18th, that's not summertime. That's still spring.
Well, that's still spring.
No, but the other Mike's point is that it's actually almost the dead of winter.
Yes. It's flipped.
So, geez, that may put a wrench in the works about going to Antarctica.
So it's actually, strictly speaking, it's fall. You know what, Mike? You're presuming
accurately, it's almost winter.
Yes.
Yeah. You're presuming that Phyllis understands that Antarctica is on the bottom.
Well, I did.
That's right. I didn't know that, but now I'm looking at my app on my phone, my Antarctica app, and it does say that it's in the southern hemisphere. So
Also, that might have been your best.
That would totally make. I don't know. Can I fly there on Virgin? I mean, I don't know how you get to Antarctica.
I don't know if you'd have to go on a military cargo plane or and be